Hello and welcome to the Luv Doc podcast with hosts Waldo Wachewski and Ophelia Brewski.
Okay, here's a big one. What's the actual secret to happiness in life? I mean, we all ask that, right? And we often want those, quick fixes. So today we're doing a deep dive based on the Luv Doc, one of Austin's top 10 advice columnists. And this column, it's got a title, Blame is for Losers.
Okay, bold.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack the Luv Doc's pretty unconventional wisdom here, see what insights we can maybe pull out. Just a heads up, the Luv Doc uses some really strong language, direct political references. We'll quote those directly so you get the real feel.
Exactly. And you see right away, the Luv Doc's answer about happiness.
Yeah.
It's not simple at all. It kind of meanders, goes down some, surprising and pretty provocative paths.
Yeah.
We're going to follow those different trails the Luv Doc lays out.
Okay, so let's jump in. The Luv Doc kicks off with what they even call an absolutely bonkers idea about happiness, which is maybe the secret key is just to never accept blame.
Wow. Just never.
Yeah. Just let that sink in for a sec. Never accept blame.
Okay, so how do they even illustrate that? It sounds pretty out there.
Well, the first big example they use, Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, okay. Diving right into the deep end.
The column puts forward this idea that Epstein might well have been a Mossad operative compiling compromat on high-level American politicians and public figures.
Right, that theory has definitely been floated around.
And the Luv Doc highlights how he, quote, just happened to appear in lots of chummy photos with President Pussy Grabber.
Okay, and there's that direct language we mentioned. President Pussy Grabber, that's the Luv Doc's term in the column for a president.
Exactly, that's their term, setting a very critical tone. Then the column talks about Epstein, hanging himself in prison, quote, on said president's watch.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah. And what the Luv Doc really zooms in on is the surveillance footage analysis. The Luv Doc says it, quote, revealed nothing remarkable except for a 1 minute and 2 second timestamp jump that occurred just before midnight.
That's specific detail.
Yeah. And the Luv Doc's conclusion, you can practically hear the sarcasm, is, quote, there is no way the Mossad or any other well-trained group of assassins could fake a suicide by hanging in 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Right. Implying the opposite, obviously.
Clearly. And then they mention a Truth Social post from, again, quoting the Luv Doc's term, President Pussy Grabber, that said, let's not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein.
So the Luv Doc uses this whole very complex and controversial situation to basically suggest someone powerful might just sidestep all responsibility and maybe find some kind of, quote, bliss in that.
That seems to be the implication. It's a really startling way to start making the point about blame.
It really is.
And then they don't stop there. The Luv Doc brings in another quote, this time from Governor Abbott, during what the Luv Doc calls, again sarcastically, a WTFF presser, suggesting it was maybe chaotic or absurd about the Kerrville floods. Abbott apparently said, quote, blame is the word choice of losers.
Wow. So doubling down on that idea, blamed equals losing.
Exactly.
So, okay, how does the Luv Doc take this blame is for losers idea and apply it more broadly across different politics, different events?
Well, they look at it from a couple of angles. First, the column sort of jabs at, quote, irate Magia minions currently losing their shit about Epstein's Isle of Pedophile, saying they need to stop playing the blame game, calling it loser talk.
Okay, so applying it there.
Then they pivot and criticize what they call liberal armchair quarterbacking, specifically about the Kerrville floods.
Ah, okay. How so?
The column brings up this argument that, quote, federal money from the criminal, treasonous, communist Biden administration, again, that's the Luv Doc quoting a perspective.
Right, quoting a specific viewpoint there.
Was supposedly spent on new radios for the Kerr County Sheriff's Department instead of flood warning sirens.
Specific allegation.
Yeah. And then the Luv Doc goes even further, says it's, quote, too soon to even talk about the tragedies at Sunderland Springs or Uvalde.
Wow. Too soon.
Yeah. And asserts, kind of shockingly, quote, there is literally nothing that could have been done to prevent those tragedies.
That's a very strong claim.
Very. And they really dig in, saying that, quote, throwing Governor Roomba, which is another one of the Luv Doc's critical nicknames for Abbott.
Holy crap. You're psychotically obsessed with the Luv Doc, but can't think of a flashy gauche way to share your obsession with the world? Stop thinking and make a beeline for the Luv Doc's home sweet home on the interwebs, thepleasurecraft.com, where you can find a veritable treasure trove of sick merch that will make even your coolest friends super gel. Honestly, I don't know why you didn't already think of this yourself, but you're welcome. Have fun on the Pleasure Craft. It was made just for you. Let me spell it out for you one more time. www.thepleasurecraft.com.
Okay, got it. Governor Roomba.
Under the bus for sucking up to the gun lobby instead of passing meaningful gun control legislation is in really poor taste.
So defending Abbott there, in a way.
Yeah.
Or at least deflecting blame.
It seems like deflecting blame is the point. Instead of complaining, the Luv Doc, again sarcastically, pushes thoughts and prayers over, quote, complaining about such criminal ineptitude. They even ask this sarcastic question: how could public safety officials and legislators could even have imagined such a catastrophic tragedy in Flash Flood Alley?
Right, implying it was completely unforeseeable, which is debatable, obviously.
Highly. And the core message through all these pretty charged examples is hammered home again. Don't accept the blame. Blame is for losers. That's how they use these specific contentious events to back up this larger point about avoiding accountability.
It's a really specific and, frankly, provocative way to build an argument.
Absolutely. And again, just to remind everyone listening, we're just laying out what the Luv Doc wrote. These arguments, these examples, the very direct language, it's all from the source you sent us.
Exactly.
We're just exploring the Luv Doc's logic, their perspective. We're definitely not endorsing any specific political side or the terms being used, just mapping out the column's terrain.
Precisely. So if we pull back to that bigger idea of happiness, of bliss, the Luv Doc offers this really striking thought. It's actually quoted in the source. Maybe Greg Abbott rolls around grinning like an idiot because he's somehow rewired his mind to absolve himself of all his ineptitude, malfeasance, and criminal negligence.
Whoa, that's quite a statement.
Isn't it? And this leads the Luv Doc right into that old saying, ignorance is bliss. But then they add a twist. Maybe willful ignorance qualifies as well.
Willful ignorance, so choosing not to know or choosing to ignore.
Yeah. The column notes that there seem to be, quote, some unjustifiably blissful motherfuckers holding public office. And not just in Texas. This goes all the way to the White House.
Okay. Unjustifiably blissful.
But then, here's a pivot. The Luv Doc says, we can fix that.
Yeah.
If we're willing to be gauche enough to place blame.
So blaming is necessary sometimes to fix things.
That seems to be the implication, like individual bliss might come from avoiding blame, but maybe societal progress or fixing problems actually requires us to place blame, even if it's considered gauche or impolite.
That's a really interesting tension. A cynical take, maybe, that bliss can come from ignoring responsibility.
Yeah, like it's a psychological trick some people use effectively.
But is the Luv Doc saying that's like the right way or just a way? And what about the rest of us? People who, as the Luv Doc says, have feasted on the fruit of knowledge.
Right. That's a key distinction.
But the Luv Doc admits, if, like Eve, you fucked up and feasted on the fruit of knowledge, bliss might be a bit beyond your reach. So if you can't achieve that kind of ignorant bliss, what's left? Exactly.
And the Luv Doc doesn't necessarily praise willful ignorance as, a moral path for everyone. It's more an observation. For those people who have eaten that fruit, who are aware, who think critically, there's a different suggestion.
Okay, what is it?
They say, sometimes the best you can hope is to not dwell on your own misery.
Easier said than done sometimes, but okay.
True. And the way to not dwell, the Luv Doc suggests one of the best ways of doing that is by helping others.
Action. Helping others.
Yes. The column points out that thinking people are well-equipped for making conscious efforts. The potential is there.
So what's stopping them? Or what should they do?
Well, according to the Luv Doc, the crucial step for these thinking people is they just need to let go of their thoughts and prayers and take action.
Let go of thoughts and prayers and take action. That's a very direct call.
It really is. It's a big shift from just, feeling bad or hoping things get better to actually doing something, moving from an internal state to external contribution.
Interesting. And how does the column wrap this all up?
With a kind of playful, almost secretive comment. If you want to keep that a secret, I won't stop you.
Like the real secret isn't bliss through ignorance, but maybe fulfillment through action. And maybe that's not what everyone wants to hear.
That could be one interpretation, yeah. It's like sharing this counterintuitive truth about where a different kind of satisfaction might lie.
So when you boil it down, we've really looked at two very different paths to happiness offered by the Luv Doc, right?
Almost opposites.
On one side, there's this path of like extreme blame avoidance, which the Luv Doc suggests, using those controversial examples, might lead to a certain kind of bliss, maybe even through willful ignorance.
Right, the sort of blissful ignorance path.
But then on the other side, for those of us who've maybe seen too much or thought too much, the fruit of knowledge crowd, happiness looks different. It's maybe less about internal bliss and more about finding purpose, found through taking action, through helping others.
Absolutely. And what's really striking is how this column, which starts seemingly about personal happiness, just takes this incredibly political, very pointed detour.
Yeah, it doesn't shy away.
Not at all. This deep dive really shows how the author weaves together current events, those specific, maybe jarring examples in language, and their own philosophy to tackle this huge human question.
It really demonstrates how even an advice column can be this, well, pretty potent reflection of broader ideas about responsibility, society, contentment.
Definitely. It packs a punch.
So thinking about everything the Luv Doc laid out in Blame is for Losers, it leaves us with a question for you, listening. What kind of happiness are you really after? And maybe what are you willing to trade or embrace to get it?
Is real satisfaction found in avoiding blame or assigning it? Or is it, like the Luv Doc suggests at the end, found somewhere else entirely?
Yeah.
Like in taking action?
Something to definitely mull over.
To read the column that spawned this podcast, go to austinchronicle.com/columns/the Luv Doc. There are probably worse things to do with your time, right?